Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. It's pouring rain right now. I got a fan blasting, radio in the background a little, so I'm sure the noise on this may not be the greatest, but had a couple of questions and wanted to address a few issues. Some people are asking about some of the stubby or short sockets that I use, as well as these short, tiny little adapters, like 1/4 inch to 3/8, 3/8 to half, and setup on that. So I thought I'd do a video on, tight spaces and sockets and how to try to get the best of that you can. We all struggle at times on how tight we can get on stuff. We also struggle on how much money to spend on things too. So I know there's going to be some other options that may be just as good or better. That may cost a little bit of money, but this has been my workaround. So first off, I have these Astro pneumatic stubby 3/8 drive sockets. This is a 1/2 inch here. Now, to give an idea of a comparison, this is a Tecton 1/2 inch 3/8 drive. So same sockets, fairly reasonable height difference. Now, I have been told that Tectons are a bit higher than some others, but you can kind of get an idea of what the difference is we're dealing with. Guess we have inches and metric for everybody out there. So that helps a lot, getting into as tight a spot as you can. One thing that I don't have is a really short 3/8. Neat thing though is, like my gear wrench, this is the 120 XP or whatever they call it drive, with that on there. Now if I take this here, which is an Ares, ARES extension or adapter, put that on this gear wrench 120. Then I take my stubby. You'll notice all of a sudden, if you can see it, it's not a ton shorter, but it is shorter. So I still have a fairly short, compact little 3/8 setup if I need it, as well as my little 1/4 inch drive short. Another thing that is nice about these, if I can take this off one-handed here. Oh, we'll just skip that. We'll just grab S13. Is that this bottom is a 17 millimeter. So that makes it nice if you have something like this flex head. You have a fairly short ratchet. Guess I need to put it all the way in. That you can use. Now that makes it even shorter than the other options. You can also use this with regular ratcheting wrench. This is a Capri. So pretty short setup available. Also makes it nice with these little short extensions here. You can see, if I can get it to focus here, just how short that is. I'll try to measure that here 1 second. So these are adding very, very little to the height difference. Now granted, space is tight, but for me, so is my budget. You can see exactly how tall that is. So basically, just that knurling is the only added height that you have to going from a 1/4 inch to 3/8. So it makes it pretty versatile that way. Get over here to metric and let you see that too. So pretty short little setup. Now, space-wise, over here on our Stubby, our 1/4" ratchet, this is one of the reasons on this particular ratchet that I don't have a 3/8 is because I can use this with one of these short little sockets. It makes for a nice, tight, compact setup. And I'll try to compare that the best I can. So even with that, if I have to have a 3/8, so realistically, I very seldom use much for 3/8. I'm gonna grab this here and try to compare them. Try to get it as level as I can here so you can see. Yes, it is taller. Not by a whole lot though. And this is if I have to use a 3/8. Then I get my ratchet. And I only bought one. These little adapters here come in a set of 3 for like $13. One of the reasons why I waited until now to put this video out is because I ordered a couple of sets, because if you guys go order a bunch of them, I don't want to be out. So I ordered 2 extra sets just to have around. I've never had a problem with these, but again, I don't want to be without at any point in time. You know, you find a tool you like and then all of a sudden you need to replace it and everybody else has bought it or they discontinue it. So all in all, that's kind of my short setup. I'm sure there's more I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope I don't have to do a voiceover on this if the sound's terrible. I'll try listening to it tonight yet. But yeah, that's my little setup. Actually, I'm gonna grab a 1/2" standard and a 1/4" drive so I can give you an idea of what we might. Sorry about doing everything one-handed, guys. So this is your standard, and this is a Tecton regular socket. 6-point. Having to go to 3/8 with that Stubby or short or whatever you want to call these little sockets with that adapter on a 1/4" drive, and you are just a smidgen above. Now that is going to be hard to show exactly the best way of going about that, because a 1/2" you can use a 1/4" all day long without a problem. But let's put a 19mm here. Okay, so I put the 19 in the ratcheting wrench here, little flex head. Behind it I have a 3/4" with that 1/4" to 3/8 adapter with that Stubby socket, and then behind it I have a Tecton impact on my gear wrench XP120. So you can see that, you know, even in this larger size, if you have to have space and an adapter, you can. Now for those cool little real thin, narrow ratchets and 3/8, I don't know if they're even thinner than this or not, or if they're as thin of these or not. I don't have one to test it out, but I know some people really like that setup. This is my poor man's way of getting to it. Like I said, those adapters are only like $13 for all 3 of them. So they're pretty handy. This is how I get into some tight spots. It's saved my butt more than once. Even in small engine repair, things keep getting tighter and tighter, and it's nice to be able to, you know, like remove a head without having to take off the entire intake. In some situations you can get away with just by being able to squeeze in and get things out. So less things take apart, less chance of things being lost, less things moving around, and if you can do it just as faster, in my book, is better to do. And it sounds like it may have stopped raining. So that's kind of how I address short things. That's kind of why we have this right angle impact to go with the Stubby. You all know the big boys out there too, but I don't need anything bigger than a 3/8 most all the time. Half inch is, you know, maybe once a day, maybe only 3 times a week, depending on the week. But I think this little setup can be nice and handy, short, easy to get into. I know I'm missing a lot on the subject, so anyways, ask a question, leave a comment, please. Appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, hit like, share, all that good stuff. I greatly appreciate it. So if you have any questions, I'm going to try to place a link on these. I'm not an Amazon affiliate. They won't let me be because my channel's not popular enough. But I will try to go ahead and place a link on these. So make sure you hit those likes and subscribes. That way maybe I can be popular enough to be an affiliate and actually make, 2 cents off of this video. But then I could pay for more tools. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.